Okay, so the original plan was to go live. However, we are currently in a place that has no signal. So we're pre-recording this for you. However, I will be drawing the cards live on this video. We are doing a House of Consciousness spread. This is our post full moon in Scorpio. Something about the full moon in Scorpio. Remember, full moons are about releasing what doesn't serve us anymore. And this one was a really big one because Scorpio is the kind of the embodiment of the Phoenix, in the sense that we are going through a very massive rebirth. Something that came up for myself and a lot of my members here in the tribe was kind of surfacing a little bit of this sadness. Now, we've been through a lot of things lately. We've been through a lot of things over the last 15 years of this karmic cycle in Capricorn. Now, what that means for us is now we've reached this point of safety. We've reached this point of house of calibration here. We have our house of consciousness built. When we sit in our homes now, our homes of consciousness and safety, we have these like unsettling feelings that are surfacing and we're not sure why they're there. Hey, I thought I got past this. Hey, I thought this was something I had already transmuted. And one of the things that I think we fail to recognize is that when we are pushing through the dark night of the soul, we often shove a lot of the uncomfortable feelings down in favor of trying to find happiness in its place. Remember, happiness, sadness, anger, despair, all of these things are simply emotions. None is greater than the other, although we are considered one is more valuable than the other. And that's what kind of gets us off course sometimes. So as a reminder, our house of consciousness here, we have strength, intellect, compassion, and sexuality and our creativity. Okay, those are our four pillars that hold up our mind, body, spirit. And so long as we have all four of those pillars in line with what our true voice is meant to say, we can live within that house in full creativity and full safety. All right, so what we're doing in these house of consciousness spreads, we're pulling one from divine masculine, one from divine feminine. And then we're going to go ahead and check that with our earthbound deck and our lightbound deck. Once again, feminine, masculine. Balance is everything. To kind of help us see through all four of these pillars. All right. So first, we're going to get this going with our two middle cards. So this is our divine feminine. There she is, Lala. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and get one from the divine masculine. This is the core spirit message that we have from within. If you hear something on the outside here, I'm very sorry. We have two of them today. We are unloading in the gold mines today. So here are two from divine masculine. We have wisdom, which is number 30, and attainment, which is number 24. So next what we're going to do is we're going to grab our earthbound cards for compassion pillar. Remember, compassion is that thing that we are always having in the very beginning. We always have that. The only time you lose compassion is when you start to think that you're hurt. Here's our stuff for the intellect. Intellect being all of the things that you learn throughout the world, when you learn colors, when you learn emotions, when you learn people, when you read books. Here's our one for strength. Last one here we're going to go in is our sexuality, creativity. So there we have that one. Next, we're going in through the lightbound deck to balance these out. Once we get all these cards on the board, we'll see what we have to say. Uh-oh. Compassion card for the light seer is out. Let's go intellect, spirit, divine. Give us a intellect card. Here we go. And we're going to go into strength, which is the body, which is what we feed it, how we treat it. And oh, I love it. Creativity, sexuality on the last bit. All right, let's start looking through some of these cards. In our heartbound center of what we're looking at after our full moon in Scorpio, we have the death rebirth card from our divine masculine side. And we also have crystal technology or silicone. Okay, and then we have Lentarki Mace or Peace. Now, she's the lady that you kind of go to. She's a bit like me, where she always has all the nice things ready in the home. She's always ready to nurture and love you. So in this house of consciousness, in our compassion, you might be seeing here that you're really just starting to rebirth that heart center. Remember when I said that your compassion only starts to diminish when somebody hurts you or something hurts you? Then you start to close down that compassion. One of the things that came up in my personal spread this morning for House of Consciousness was Kuan Yin, and she is the goddess of compassion. What she says is curiosity breeds compassion. So how do we get past this stuff? We get a little bit curious about how nurturing we can be for ourselves and also others. When you hit this place where you feel like you're in this death rebirth and you need to move forward, but you don't know exactly what it is you need to do. Generally, that is you need to ground yourself into some of the stuff that you have in your earth energies, but then you also need to kind of embody this spirit here of knowing that you can help others through showing them everything that you've been through and how you've been able to overcome things that have hurt you. In our intellect area, so this is our mind, this is our light, this is everything that we use to define and describe our world. We have clarity, okay? We also have manifestir, and we have Ten of Swords. All right, so what we're learning now is that some of the things that we've been taught along the way are actually not true to who we are. So we're having to go ahead and leave all of this stuff behind. One of the key things that this card says is looking upon the dawn is of the next day is the highest task of a bruised heart. Okay, so now we're moving from that bruised heart energy and we're moving into this clarity space. Okay, now we have clarity and we know what it is that's truth to us. Okay, this is very key to know what your truth is, because there's a lot of information out there that will tell you X, Y, and Z. But truth is only truth when it's true to you. And generally, you can only justify that by actually going through it yourself and defining things in your way. Manifestir is the creator. Okay, so she's got that wand there. She's going to go ahead and go out and help share her knowledge. Now, we're not trying to dominate the world in the sense that what we know is the only way. We're trying to share with the world that our way is what got us out. And if there's any similarities in my story to your story, to his story, that we can pull all of these things together and actually find this clarity and peace as a collective, we can walk away from what no longer serves us. All right, our next one here for strength and body. Remember, this is what we feed ourselves and how we treat ourselves. We have sorcery. Okay, sorcery and revolution. And then we also have the Five of Wands. Now you'll look here, the five is like a number of challenge, okay? But this is a good type of challenge. This is the kind of thing that tells you, you know what, friendly competition can be very beneficial. So this isn't necessarily you fighting against one another. This is practice. So this is you taking the sorcery of everything that you've now felt in your heart, know that is true, and taking that and applying that. What I would like to say about that is that you have a million different people talking about a million different diets that work for them. You have a million different people telling you about this is the best way to train, and this is the best way to train, and that is the best way to train. It's all different. It doesn't matter what you do. It just matters that you do something, and that you choose to do that something consistently enough that you can come back to your body again and make adjustments. So get out there and start practicing the things that you know works for you, and it doesn't have to follow what everybody else does. If your fitness is dancing every morning for 30 minutes until you break a sweat, that's your fitness. If fitness for you means that you're going to go on a walk with your dog twice a day and you're going to make sure you go up hills, down hills, and hike, that's your fitness. But the sorcery and revolution of body movement, what you feed yourself and how you treat yourself of this physical body, this is something that we need to start sharing and start playing and practicing with one another so that we can move forward and get these earth bodies healthy so we can continue to channel the messages. As far as our sexuality, creativity, remember this is that sacral chakra stuff. Six of Wands. All right, this is the one where it says, like, I finally made it. You see here, she's on a stage. You see here that she's got this wreath here. She's finally made it. And what this means is release that creative energy. Release that sexuality that is within yourself. Know that pleasure is something that is meant for you, okay? Don't shame your pleasure. A lot of things that we've gone through, a lot of ideologies and things that we've been through, shame pleasure in a way that makes it so that we can't actually honor the gift that it is to be in this body. Duro Ile is compassion. Have compassion with yourself in the sense that you knowing that your pleasure is your own, and that your pleasure is something that you can move forward with without shame. Okay, we've left shame in the past. We've left shame. We're at Mama, Lantarki Mace's place in the heart chakra here in the compassion world, and we are now moving forward with our most beautiful, sexy selves. Okay, no matter what gender you are. As far as our main event, this is spirit. So this is direct from spirit. They're unloading the tires, that's why we're shaking. You have this Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer, and I am the author of my own story. Okay, this is even now double downing on all of the messages that we've just been given. Now that we know that we've had a rebirth in our heart, now that we know that we're leaving things behind and we're going to start creating with what we know in our mind and our soul, we're also going to start practicing that and using that consistency in our own body to make sure this vessel is healthy. We're going to celebrate the compassion that we have not only for others but ourselves, and we are going to start speaking about it, not just to ourselves but to others as well. Okay, doesn't mean you need to get a soapbox, doesn't mean you need to sit out here and make sure everybody hears your voice and voice only, but it does mean that the things that you say to yourself daily, the mantras and calibration that you have for your daily body, are so important. And the last two we have here from the light are attainment and wisdom. First of all, attainment, you can see here, here's the world. What are you attaining? You're looking over your world and your realm, and you now have this capacity to create. It's a little scary because I know as a culture we have been kind of curated to follow everybody else or follow what should be, and now we're being given this blank slate of just, it's your attainment. Now you get a chance to make your own world. Wisdom, use the wisdom of within, use everything that you've built here in this house of consciousness to start building the neighborhood that you want. And what am I talking about? The neighborhood is your tribe. Who are you talking to daily? Who are you sharing your spoken words with daily? And who are you not speaking to daily? All right? Remember, everything that you say, whether it's in your mind or in your voice, all of that is a spell in this world, because the word is the vibration. In the beginning, there was the word, and the word was God. Yeah, it was, but G-O-D, that is that. You and I both have to agree that those letters mean something, and then we have to assign a sound to that. And that sound is the alchemy of what is the true voice and light and spirit within you. We have the capacity to choose our words, and that is what we're trying to say here. Choose your words wisely, especially when you talk about yourself. And please, please, please leave all of the past behind. Okay? Give yourself space to write it out. Give your space time to cry it out. And once you're done with all of that, you'll feel this lifted energy. You'll feel this freeness that comes about your body. And then after a good night's sleep, after, a few, cutting tie rituals or burning letters that you're writing to yourself for the people that you feel like have hurt you in your world, after that, you will start to feel this new clarity. But what must you have always in those times and places? Your daily calibration. So now is a good time to talk about the cheat code meditation. If you cannot take time to be out of work and work on yourself 24 hours a day, find 33 minutes a day to do this. You take 11 minutes to sit there and listen to music and channel in. You take another 11 minutes to learn, to build your strength and build your intellect pillar and start learning about something, reading something that just kind of gets you going. And then the last 11 minutes, you pull that into your creativity and you pull that into your body, and you start to dance and you start to move to music that is either from our regeneration playlist or something that has been curated specifically by yourself for yourself. Take those 33 minutes a day. It is a daily calibration. When you warm up a car in the morning, you don't just get out and drive it. Otherwise, you're going to sit here. If you're not checking your oil, if you're not checking the little things that you have that keeps that car running, someday you're going to have to see a mechanic. And how much that's going to cost is up to you. Okay, so let's calibrate our daily house of consciousness. Let's get together with that cheat code meditation. Pray it out. Get it out. And the new moon in Scorpio the full moon in Scorpio has now passed us, and get ready for a brand new spring and a brand new you. We'll see you guys next time. And if you need any help or personal readings, please visit my website. I have it down here in the description box, phoenixrosetribe.com. Send me a message, let me know what you need, and we will set up something for you to get some more specific one-on-one guidance. We'll see you guys soon.